Okay, what is up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a kind of what's in my fridge, what's in my cupboards, weekly food shop style video showing you all the things which are like my essentials in my food cupboard, as well as kind of chatting you through how I turn those into meals, I guess, throughout the week. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so this is the fridge situation. So it's pretty full at the moment. I'm gonna get some bits out and talk them through because obviously you can't really see that much when it's all piled in like that. So I'm gonna pop you back, open up on the window because it's so dark today so that you can actually see me and the food because it's really dark. And I'm gonna get some bits and show you them. Okay, so first up we have fruit. So I have strawberries, bananas and raspberries, which I would say are like my go-to to have in the fridge. Things like raspberries are really high in fibre, so love having those to help keep topping my fibre up. And bananas are obviously a great carb source. So yes, those I would say are my favourites, and I would have them on my oats in the morning. I'd have them in with some yogurt as a snack. Okay, so in terms of veggies, moving on to fruit, we're now going to veggies. One thing I'm a really big fan of is just convenience in general. So I like to buy things like this, which I know it's more expensive because you're buying it pre-prepared, but it's just like a roasting tray of veggies. You can just stick it in the oven and I could split it, like have some for tea, take some for lunch, or yeah, I just like stuff like that because it's easy. In general, the other veggies in the house would be things like spinach. There's not much left in that pack, but spinach, love a tender stem broccoli, avocados. I really like courgette. I really like mushrooms as well. I haven't got any mushrooms, so imagine mushrooms for a second. And then sweet potatoes. I really like seasoned sweet potato chips in the oven. All you have to do, I never peel them, I literally just rinse them, chop them, put them in a tray, put some seasoning on them and put them in the oven, and they come out really nicely. You can cook with things like Fry Light. Let me get it. Fry Light. So I don't know if you've seen this before, but it's basically like a 1 calorie spray, and it's just basically kind of like an oil replacement, I guess. That on the potatoes, in the oven they go, and they come out really nice. So the last veggie thing I'm going to show you is a pack of mixed veggies for a stir fry. Really like a stir fry as an evening dinner. I also find that just in general, that's kind of a good pre-prepared veggie pack, which is perfect for zero time to make a really fancy lunchbox. So just bang a handful of that in, or do a bit in the pan with whatever meat I'm having that evening. So yeah, quite like a packet of stir fry veg too. So protein sources, which would be kind of my staples to have. I really like a protein cheese. This one is Eat Lean, which you can get in a couple of supermarkets, and the macros are super good, and it's just nice. You can have it as like cheese on toast, have it on top of like pasta or anything really. Another one would be eggs. So I really like having eggs on like a Saturday or a Sunday morning as like a healthy fry up, and they're also really good to have in the fridge for things like healthy pancakes or for baking. So yeah, like eggs in there. Okay, next up we have what I have probably shown a million times, which is turkey bacon. So they're 32 calories a slice, these guys, and each rasher has got 6 grams of protein, 0.6 grams of fat and 0.5 grams of carbs. So they're a super lean meat, and they're just really yummy. Like I love having it as like a turkey bacon butty, or chopped up in some pasta, or with eggs and a slice of toast in the morning. Second best, I would say, are chicken sausages. So these are the Heck ones, which I really like. None of this is sponsored, by the way. This is stuff that I just buy. So for 2 sausages, it's 99 calories, 19 grams of protein with only 1.8 grams of fat and 1.6 grams of carbs. Again, great in a sandwich, great chopped up in anything really. Chicken, that's a bit of a boring one. These were gifted to me, sent to me by Muscle Food. I would normally buy these type of things anyway from Asda. I normally buy, they do like some turkey burgers, and also Sainsbury's, I bought the lean beef burgers that they do there as well. So you can pick that type of stuff up in supermarkets. And again, just the running trend, as you can see, is lean meats and a variety of them. Okay, last but not least, we have some tuna. So this is obviously a cupboard item, not a fridge item, but it's still a protein source, which I would say always stays in the cupboard because it is super easy. This is the tuna steaks in spring water, which you don't have to drain, and they've got like a ring pull on them. So it's really easy if you kind of put this in your bag for work, or you need to pick something up out and about on the go. These are a really good thing to keep an eye out for. Right, okay, so I've now just got a bit of a selection of random other cold bits that I don't know what section to put them in. So yogurts is a big one. Particularly, I really love Phage Total 0% yogurt, which I've actually ran out of because I ate it earlier. So yes, that would be what I would normally have in the fridge as a yogurt. In terms of like a butter, this guy is my favorite. So this is Flora Light. It's actually made from plants, which is really cool. And per portion, it's only 27 calories. So because it hasn't got dairy in it, it's really good. So I really like this. And it's also a lot cheaper than butter. Little tip there for you. Next up, we have some almond milk. Yeah, I don't have milk that much, mainly because I'm not that keen on it. But in things like coffee, sometimes I add it, or if I'm having like some granola. 13 calories for 100 milliliters, so really good. Okay, next up, to go with our stir fry, these are high protein pea noodles. So it says that there's like 10 grams of protein in a portion, and there's obviously 2 portions there, so we can share that, which is great. And then this is something else that I picked up, which is a kind of rice and quinoa like superfood blend thing. Again, this just comes down to convenience. It's really easy to have stuff like this in the fridge. You can buy them cold, or you can buy them in like rice packets. As I've said before, I'm not that keen on rice on its own. So this, where it's kind of like a rice and quinoa, and it's got some veggies and stuff in there as well, it's a really nice blend. So yes, things like that, I would split half the pack for dinner, or you can have it for lunch. It's just a good thing really to have in the fridge. It's pretty easy to kind of do stuff with. Okay, last but not least of the cold items, we have all my pegs on it. It is garlic bread. Garlic bread is literally one of the best things ever created. I'm gonna put that out there. It's one of the best things ever created. It's one of my favorite things. That one in particular is a reduced fat one. It has got slightly less fat than normal garlic bread, and they're just already in slices. So again, it's really easy for like portion control, because I know if I buy like those baguettes, that's a toughie to divide that up. So things like that, you can just take like 1 or 2 slices out and put that in the oven, particularly if you're kind of struggling with things like getting your head around portion control or moderation or that type of thing. So yes, love that. Okay, I think, freezer stuff. So these are the chips, which I know I've shown you in another video as well. So they are 5% fat oven chips. You can also buy 3% fat ones, but our supermarket is continually sold out of them. And all they literally are is potatoes and a bit of sunflower oil. So just a good example of reading the packaging, it's pretty much just a lazy way of having chopped up potatoes. There isn't any nasty stuff in there. So I love having those in the freezer. Grab a handful, it can go in, and it's just super easy. Ice cream, come on. I'm gonna say I'm pretty much an ice cream addict. Always have been, always will be. I love the Halo Top Vanilla. I also love the Oppo Salted Caramel. So yes, love this. And last but not least, we have bread. So, cupboard number 1 item is some pasta. This is a whole wheat penne from Asda's Good and Balanced range. which I don't really know what the difference is, to be honest. I was probably just sucked in by the fact that it said good and balanced on the front of it. But yeah, this is something I would just keep in the cupboard, and like I said, if I'm having pasta, that would be what I'm having. I do also really like a pea or a lentil pasta, which I know I've had a few times before as well. Sweet cupboard essentials, maple syrup, love to have that on yogurt, particularly things like where I said I really like having Veg Total 0%, where it's not a sweet tasting yogurt. I love adding things like maple syrup when I'm having it with berries and granola, and it's just a nice little sweet addition. Peanut butter, and also marmalade. I don't know why, I always used to have marmalade when I was a kid. My dad always used to make it for me on toast, and it's still one of my favorite snacks to have. So yes, marmalade. And things like this, by the way guys, are a great carb source, because it's pretty much, it's fruit, so it's just sugar basically. So yeah, things like that I really like to have on toast if I'm kind of lacking in some carbs that day, or I just fancy a piece of toast. Ketchup, 100%. I put ketchup pretty much on everything, I would say. Anyone that knows me knows I'm that embarrassing person in every social situation where it's not okay to ask. I ask for ketchup. Christmas dinner, ketchup. Pretty much everything. Curry, ketchup. That is just my vibe. Okay, last kind of cupboardy item is some hot chocolate. This one is the Cadbury's Highlights one. It's 38 calories a mug. I either make it with that almond milk or just with water. It's really, really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna take you over here to show you spices. Here we have the spice selection. So ones that I use a lot is this one, which is like a tomato style, like herby one. Salt, obviously. Oh, I'm a big garlicky person. So garlic granules, peri salt. This is amazing on wedges. If you like Nando's, it's basically like the peri salt that they put on your chips there. And then like a sweet one, cinnamon. Love cinnamon in porridge or for baking or just in general. I think that's pretty much it. The only other things we've got is like paprika, chili flakes, peppers. I'm like a really big spicy person. Like I love spicy food, but Will really doesn't like it. So we constantly have this debate between what seasoning goes on what. So the spicy stuff tends to be what I would put on things. So when I'm cooking things like mince or chicken or anything like that, which is quite a plain meat, I will always just cook it in a pan or cook it in the oven and literally not use sauces, just sprinkle a load of different of those spices and herbs and stuff on it, and it literally makes it so nice. Okay, so moving on to like the cereal type cupboard, I would say. As you guys know, I have porridge for breakfast most days, and this is the one that I really like. I've shown you it before. It's the Quaker's protein porridge, and it just comes in a little sachet, or you can also buy it in these little pots. Things like that are really good. I keep them in the cupboard, and then if I'm going out that day, or I've got a busy day, or I got up late, or whatever the scenario is, they're good to just have. All you do is put boiling water with them. Last but not least, I would say, is a nice granola. So this is the Lizzie's high protein granola. That is literally just the one that I really like. We also do keep a jar of granola, which just kind of stays on the side, and a jar of cacao powder, which again stays on the side as stuff that we cook with and use. I've shown you my chocolatey oats before. I think I've shown you them. That's what I would use for that, cacao powder. And then there's also a big jar of just your OG classic oats. So yeah, a lot of oats. As you can tell, oats are definitely up there with my favorite. I don't think oats is a food group, but I feel like it should be. Okay, last but not least, I'm gonna show you snacks. First up, obviously, protein bars. I have a whole box of them, obviously, because they send them to me every month. As you guys know, I work with them, as well as their protein milkshakes, which I would really recommend for having and mixing in with things like oats, or just in general, to mix things up from a bar. They are super, super nice. Next up, the infamous Fibre One bars. In particular, the triple chocolate cake bars. Now, I have these almost every single evening, melted in the microwave for like 30 seconds, put some Halo Top on there, you're away. Now, I've said to you guys before that I always buy kids mini packs of stuff, and I know that sounds really weird, but there is a really good reason why. So, for example, I buy these mini bags of buttons. They're like little mini bags, 76 calories a mini bag. It just helps with portion and moderation, and that is just my preference, and it just makes things easier to not think about it. On that same line, party rings. Obviously, I've talked about these 1 million times. They are up there with one of my favorite things. Again, treat bag size, so mini kids bags, and yeah, it's just perfect. Okay, what else have we got? We've got some crisps. So these are Hippies, which are like chickpea puffs. I also have popcorn a lot. Like most days I would say I have popcorn. Proof of the fact that I've eaten it all today, so there isn't even any to show you. Tragic. And then continuing like the mini vibe, mini hot cross buns. So again, just a perfect example of something mini and small, gives you the same feeling of like you're having that really nice thing, but it's just a slightly smaller portion, but you still feel like you've had a hot cross bun. Okay guys, I don't really know what else to show you. I think I've shown you most of everything that I would use on like a daily basis or a weekly basis. I know it's slightly different to what I've done before. It's not really like a vlog, and it's not like a sit down Q&A style. So I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and obviously come and make sure you check me out on Instagram as well, because I try and share most days at least something I'm eating on my stories. So make sure you come and check me out over there too. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you in a bit.